Yo, what's up guys? How you doing? And good afternoon, greetings, salutation, konnichiwa, and kabawa. Kikidasuka, minasa. Welcome back into another reaction video. It's your boy, Money Avenger, the multitasker, the one and only Mr. Avenger, Mr. MA, or Money Son, at your service. What's up? I'm doing okay so far. It's just been pretty slow and lazy and just restful, but this is a typical Monday that is very slow and pretty easy, but it is a beautiful afternoon, but it's still pretty warm out. So I think that I'm ready and to get in depth with this episode, or in a manner of speaking, it's time for Death Battle. Okay, I know that it needs a little more work into it, but then again, it's been a long time I've done these. But yes, this is a Death Battle episode, and it just already came out, which is this is going to be an intergalactic battle, which is Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer. It's DC versus Marvel yet again. But you got to understand that you got two individuals that are very unique, and they have their own incredible feats. And mostly because the Martian Manhunter is one of the reasons how and why that the Justice League of America was founded, and which is the Silver Surfer was the first cosmic herald of Galactus to find planets for him to devour, and that which made a debut in the Fantastic Four that's forever in history for being as a cosmic rider, or that surfs into the galaxy, that is quote unquote rad. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get right to it, and let's begin. So if you are new to this channel, and if you like what you see so far, just be sure to flick that tiny little bell. And not only that, you will be subscribed, but you will receive a notification from yours truly, your friendly neighborhood reactor man, the soul of a Japanese brother man, the king of metal / metal reactor is what I do. Now, let's begin. Place your bets, and let's see which of the two are going to be walking out of here alive. So that only means is that I think it's going to be a very interesting to see. But then again, have your finger crossed if either Silver Surfer or the Manhunter. But I'm going to go with Marvel just for the sake of it. But let's begin, and time to react.
Martian Manhunter, DC's Space Ranger.
The Silver Surfer, Marvel's Sentinel of the Spaceways.
The depths of space hold secrets beyond our comprehension, but these sage superheroes have seen more of it than any of us could ever hope to.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. For as long as mankind has looked upon the night sky, the stars have beckoned the brave to search the unknown and explore its endless wonders.
Like Dr. Saul Erdell, who's kind of a doctor in the same way Dr. Pepper is a doctor.
No,
this guy's
no,
got
it's
no
not.
formal education, but that didn't stop him from messing around with some ancient tech he stumbled upon.
He was desperate to live out his boyhood dreams of exploring the cosmos. So with the tech's advanced capabilities, Erdell created a machine that would bring the cosmos to him.
He pointed the machine at Mars, pushed a button, and hoped for the best. And it worked! Erdell summoned a real-life Martian right before his very eyes. So remember, kids, when in doubt, just push buttons. Never fail.
I used to
The
love
mysterious
watching
and
Dexter's
powerful
Laboratory.
alien known as John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, immediately started using his incredible powers in front of the Doctor, like mind reading and shape-shifting.
Which was just the tip of Erdell's discoveries. Turns out, Martians have complete control over their bodies and can transform into practically anything, like a freaking dragon, an exact duplicate of Wonder Woman down to her central nervous system, or even a totally generic green monster that loves choco cookies.
They can also shoot
That looked
lasers
like the
from
Hulk.
their eyes, fire psionic blasts, turn invisible, and phase through anything. Even Green Lantern constructs and force fields that Superman couldn't get through.
On top of all that, they've got a crazy healing factor. John has regenerated back from a single limb, tiny pieces, or even a puddle of goo.
This display of awe-inspiring
Almost
power
like Margin
overwhelmed
Boo.
Dr. Erdell's poor human heart and caused him to die in the Martian's arms.
Damn! Well, at least he accomplished his goal before he bit the red dust, right? Anyway, John used his shape-shifting abilities to hide amongst his new world by assuming the identity of a recently deceased detective named John Jones. God, what a crazy coincidence, comic book writer, you clever man.
It does sound like
Detective
John
Jones lived
but
a double
John
life
Jones,
on
but
Earth
with
for
the
many
two
years,
Z's.
solving cases and helping as many people as he could from the shadows. But eventually, he stepped out, revealing himself to the world, and helped found the Justice League of America.
And John definitely holds his own in the supergroup. He once pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Superman, who has stated that of all the beings in the known universe, he would be afraid to fight John.
And he should be afraid. Superman wouldn't be the first Kryptonian John has gone toe-to-toe with. He's manhandled Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman from another universe, and Superboy Prime, who can shatter reality with his punches, and is also evil Superman from another universe.
Yeah, we
Blast from
get it.
Asmodel, the king angel from a literal army of heaven. He's held his own against Darkseid, the manifestation of tyranny in the DC universe. And he's fast enough to
Flew
catch up
from
to
Mars to
Supergirl
his
and
son,
Superman.
and he
who
was
we know
elected
flies
to
so fast he can
leader
burst
of
the
Mars
bonds
2.
of infinity. So basically, he's just as strong and just as fast as a bunch of crazy gods and demons.
While Jean's strength and speed are obviously very impressive, it's also no secret that his greatest asset is his mind. He's one of the most powerful telepaths in all of the DC universe.
He reads minds, duh, but he can also shut them down altogether. And he once made Mr. Plexiglass, Mr. Mixed Pickles, fuck your name, that's whatever. Anyway,
He gave up.
to subconsciously say his own name backwards, which God only knows because I can't say it forwards, which canceled out his powers.
His psychic defenses were strong enough to protect the Justice League against a worldwide telepathic attack, and his ability to sense people's feelings is so strong, he can feel every sentient being in the entire galaxy.
And he once outthought Perpetua from the Omniverse. Who's that, you ask? Oh, just the frickin' creator of the entire multiverse. She's basically the god of everything.
Jean needed to connect his consciousness with everyone on Earth before Perpetua could catch up. He pulled this off by using his mental abilities within the span of Planck time, literally the smallest possible measurement of time. In the time it takes you to count to 1, Jean could count to 1 and fly across the universe and back over 200 sextillion times.
He outthought God. He's a faster thinker than God. And it didn't
Holy
end there.
shit.
John took a punch from her and walked away with just a bloody nose. And when she disintegrated him into basically nothing, he regenerated back from a hit from God.
Batman
Wow.
has said that in order to kill Jean for good, you would have to literally destroy every single atom in his body, one by one.
God damn! If I didn't love alliteration so much, I'd say we change this guy's name to Martian God Hunter or something. He's basically invincible, right?
Not quite. Jean is not without weakness. He has a very real vulnerability to fire.
Yeah.
At times, it has completely overwhelmed him to the point where he loses control of his body.
And not just literal fire either. John was once tricked into just thinking he was surrounded by fire, and that was enough for him.
Even still, Jean has been able to overcome this weakness. He's fought enemies with fire abilities and even taken hits from fire attacks, which leads me to believe the weakness, while potent and still able to cause real physical harm, is mainly psychosomatic. What are you doing?
What
I heard
the
what
hell?
you said. Weakness to fire is just in your head. I'll be a living god! Another win in the mind column for sure. And to think there's a whole planet of these guys out there.
Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Before Dr. Erdell's strange experiment, Jean's own brother used the Martians' telepathic connection to each other against them, and the entire planet was plagued with Ronmir's curse.
As long as they stayed telepathically connected, every Martian was vulnerable to a mental fire that would overwhelm them and burn them from the inside out.
Which sadly worked very well, because the fear of fire is something Jean shares with his fellow Martians. Centuries earlier, the Guardians of the Universe, a group of immortal aliens who run the Green Lantern Corps, feared that the Martian race could become too strong. So they programmed the Martians with that genetic weakness to fire.
John was able to survive the fiery curse by cutting off his mental connection to his people, including his family. Unfortunately, his wife, Myria, and their daughter couldn't live with the isolation, and he had no choice but to watch them give in and burn alive. Damn.
Racked with
Jesus.
grief and survivor's guilt, Jean was left to wander his homeworld all alone. His only solace being shape-shifting into his lost loved ones to convince himself they were still alive.
Oh my god. Jesus, John. That is so sad.
That pain has undoubtedly shaped who Jean is. In fact, the trauma he held onto so tightly formed a literal spiritual connection with those lost souls. A telepathic connection so strong, it kept them from finding peace in an afterlife. Let me say that again. His grief and telepathy were so strong, he prevented an entire race of people from moving on to the afterlife.
It wasn't until years later that John could return to Mars and release those souls by finally letting go. And not to forget them, but to embrace his new life and his new home. A place he would defend time and time again to make sure the Earth never suffers a fate similar to Mars.
To experience all of that, to truly know what it feels like to be alone in the vast universe, but continue to use your wisdom and power to help those in need, is what makes the Martian Manhunter such a noble hero.
On a planet packed with other incredible heroes, John really has set himself apart. He's risen through the ashes and emerged the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Zen La, a virtual utopia, free from any and all crime, poverty, and disease.
And home to Norin Rad, which I've gotta say is the sickest, most radical name I have ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
He was a brainy kid who was raised to live a life of reason and intellect over one of gnarly adventure.
That is, until the technologically advanced society came under threat from the devourer of worlds, Galactus.
So Norin struck up a deal with the World Muncher. In exchange for sparing his planet,
We
Mr.
call the
Rad
World
leave
Muncher.
himself behind, become Galactus's herald, and seek out new planets for him to scarf down.
And once Galactus agreed to the deal, he imbued his new herald with the power cosmic, transforming him into the Silver Surfer.
An equally tubular name. 2 for 2. Wow, you rarely see it.
The power cosmic grants the Surfer near unlimited energy, as well as matter manipulation, phasing,
Remember
super strength,
the
speed, and
Defenders?
invulnerability,
The
just to name
first
a few.
one.
The Surfers basically got all of Galactus' space magic, just on a smaller scale. And Galactus uses that power to fight guys like the In-Betweener, an abstract being from the overspace.
The Surfer used the power cosmic to serve Galactus diligently for nearly 100 years, during which he ensured that the planets consumed were devoid of sentient life.
That is, until the Surfer accidentally offered up a planet with life, which drove him crazy with guilt. So Galactus tried his best to suppress the Surfer's emotions, erase the painful memories, and make it easier for him to find planets with tasty, delicious life, guilt-free. How nice of him.
And it worked for a while until the Surfer reached Earth. Galactus's mighty mind manipulation wasn't enough to bury the Surfer's true nature for good. With the help of Alicia Masters and the Fantastic Four, the Surfer turned against his overlord and saved the Earth from being eaten.
But even after all that, Galactus just let the Surfer keep his powers. At any point, he could have just taken them back.
Being the source of the Surfer's powers, yes, he could.
Yeah.
But Galactus has continued to let the Surfer have the power cosmic out of respect for his first herald.
Damn. See, that's the kind of respect I'm asking from you. Anyway, ever since those mental gymnastics with Galactus, the Surfer made sure nothing like that would ever happen again.
And he's been successful, like when Psycho Man failed to trick the Surfer with his illusions, or when he was briefly trapped in the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the Mind Stone.
With some of those mental threats behind him, he could finally take to the spaceways, kick ass, and monologue about the meaning of life in the universe.
In other words,
which
be
is
having
quite good,
the freedom
especially
for
the last
of his
It's thanks to
own.
the abilities afforded to him through all that cosmic energy.
It's seriously crazy. He can rearrange the molecules of anything he wants into anything he wants. He can force you to just feel pain in general, and he can even control elements, not just earth, wind, and fire, but anything in a boogie wonderland like gravity and the weather.
He's got enough power and energy inside him that he once
Energy
created
manipulation,
an infinite
matter
star
manipulation,
to serve as a new light source in a
soul-
universe devoid of light.
So
Elemental
just when he needed it, he
manipulation.
was able to pop out a baby son? That's convenient.
That's the power cosmic.
But we can't forget about the sick board he shreds the stars with. This thing's basically an extension of himself. He can transform it into a sweet sword or into pure cosmic energy. And if it breaks, he can just form a new one.
On his board, the Surfer has traveled at incalculable speeds on multiple occasions. He can fly faster than Thor, and even once flew so fast he reached the future.
Even without his board, he once broke free from energy shackles that would zap away his power within the next nanosecond. Gnarly, brah. He once outsurfed a wave of universal destruction. He had to surf out of all of existence as it was being torn apart. Now, I've seen some choice waves in my day, but if you ask me, that's one too best for watching on the beach with a brew.
You're, hitting it real hard with all this surfing lingo. He's honestly not that kind of guy at all.
Righteously disagree with you, dude. You are carving up my brainwaves into an A-frame swell that I just can't bail. I'm waxed, man, waxed.
The Silver Surfer is a tragic figure.
Oh, this is from the Silver Surfer NES game.
Of morality, like when he set out to destroy the new host of the Star Brand, an energy source that grants his wielders virtually infinite power, capable of wiping out all life on Earth.
The Star Brand seems to choose a new unknowing host at random. Could be a good guy, could be the most evil person to ever exist. But despite that threat, the Surfer spared the new Star Brand once he found out she was carrying a child.
He decided to bear the weight of any potential consequences on his own shoulders, instead of squashing any and all hope that the child would use that power for good.
I get it. He's a righteous dude on a surfboard.
Exactly. And in the Surfer's case, a keen sense of morality also comes with a keen sense of his surroundings in general. He can see enemies even when they're invisible, and can sense incoming threats, to the point where he can sense someone approaching even before they've left their own home.
He can also absorb energy his opponents throw at him. Anything from psionic energy to a freaking star. The Surfer can even do it when he's on death's door. Hey, Wiz, what do you think the doormat on death's door says? Probably like, knock 'em dead, right?
What are you talking? Now, it does take a lot to get the Surfer to death's door. He's taken a blast from the Infinity Stones, survived being smashed
did I just saw a doormat?
crashed into the Big Bang, and played catch with a star.
He caught it and then threw it right back at that punk Deadpool. Ha! I hope you like a big ball of gas in your face, you tool.
Reed Richards, the smartest man alive, has said that the Surfer is probably the most powerful being in all the galaxy.
And even after years spent drifting through the galaxy, he's still built strong bonds, like with the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and with people like Dawn Greenwood.
But somehow, he always ends up alone in space, searching for answers, searching for beings that need his help, searching for something that could replace the home that he lost all those years ago.
Only to be weighed down by the guilt of his servitude and the pain of his sacrifice, which was ultimately done in vain. Cause it doesn't seem to matter what the Surfer does. Zenn-La is destined for destruction. At this point, his home world has been destroyed 4 times over.
Despite it all, this tragic hero still manages to take everything in stride as he surfs the stars and fights tirelessly to preserve every being's right to live. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for our death battle!
In all of my journeys, I have never seen.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that this is gonna be a 3D.
Your journeys would have made you rather familiar with places like this, Nordenrad. Or should I say, Silver Surfer? Now,
Okay, that's
tell me why you have summoned me here.
Enough.
that's cool. Give it a Twilight, the Twilight Zone theme, 50 style.
Tell me your secrets.
I must end this.
We can all agree that they both can phase through anything. It's already shown.
There is no use in hiding.
Giving that such a homage to the NES. That's so cool.
taking this.
Nothing can best Martian might.
Your will is admirable, but will alone is not enough. Feel the pain.
You and I possess the same knowledge.
That only one of us can survive, and we know not why.
I hope you can live with the uncertainty.
Victory comes with no certain satisfaction. I may never know why we were made to fight. If violence is ever truly justified, but perhaps there is something worthy in the battle.
Myria.
Something beyond my understanding.
Whoa. That's
KO!
crazy.
Wiz, what the hell are we doing? Why are we forcing such beautiful souls to fight to the death?
Both
I
the
mean,
Silver
yeah.
Surfer and the Martian Manhunter were two extraordinarily powerful beings, each with very wide power sets.
So they both had counters for almost everything they could throw at each other. They could both phase through objects, rearrange molecules, and regenerate their own bodies.
Yeah,
But arguably
Silver
the
Surfer has
biggest thing
better
on the Martian
regeneration
Manhunter's side was his
than
formidable
John.
telepathy. The Surfer has had his memories
And,
erased and his
mental
emotions
manipulation.
manipulated by Galactus. So it would stand to reason that Jean could pose a mental threat to the Surfer.
But the Surfer has resisted mental attacks many times. When Psycho Man played on the Surfer's guilt and pretended to be his lost love, the Surfer saw right through it, and he escaped the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the frickin' Mind Stone.
These two could have gone toe-to-toe around the universe for a long time. But when it came down to it, the question was, who had the power to put the other down for good?
They both have some serious healing factors and have come back from basically nothing. But if ending Martian Manhunter meant destroying his every atom one by one, the Surfer has the means to make that happen thanks to the seemingly endless well of energy that is the power cosmic.
It's truly an overwhelming source of unlimited power. And outside of Galactus stripping the power away from him, the Surfer is never without it.
It's like a battery. Even if Jean could drain all of the cosmic energy, the Surfer can just recharge it. And he's used that power to destroy planets, defeat Galactus-level threats, and can basically accomplish anything with it.
While both of these philosophic heroes tend to hold back out of a respect for life, there's obviously no holding back here. And the depth of Silver Surfer's abilities gave him the win.
This Martian was harsh in his mellow, so the
Oh my
Surfer
God.
had to wave goodbye. Bodacious, Cowabunga, Hang Ten, Ninja Turtles.
The winner is the Silver Surfer.
But damn. Really? Well, okay. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that the fans are familiar of these shows that I don't think I have not heard of. But let's take this for this moment of this fight, because as I said, that they're both very unique, but they do possess of the knowledge, and they both understand what it means of losing someone that's dear to them, like Surfer, or once known as Norrin Rad, still mourns of the loss of his people, including his wife. And Jean still, being connected to his wife and his daughter, that they both share of the pain of loss. And it's very similar, but it's different. But they do understand what it means to being alone. And as an old saying goes, is that in space you feel so empty that you just forever be alone into the dreariness of the unknown, and that you are forever alone. So that is very deep. But when it comes to Silver Surfer, and that he is practically an OP in the comics because of his cosmic powers that he can do of energy manipulation, elemental, and including mental, and that's how he was able to beat Psycho Man's psychic abilities to try to manipulate his mind. And Martian Manhunter could have the ability to shut his mind off, but he was too strong for that. And I mean, they both could phase and shoot a lot of projectiles, but at the same time, it's the cosmic abilities of being as the former first herald, and it's just he has all the defeats and all the abilities that he could maneuver against with the Martian Manhunter. So, if strong efforts for him that he could resist of the fire and the heat, even though that is the Martian's weakness. But overall, it's the mind over matter that overcame, and it was very emotional, kind of, when you think about that, is that why these two are consistent to fight each other, and that all known is violence. And I guess that's a sad way to fitting in, but the results shows us that the Silver Surfer is just too powerful. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that, and I'm pretty sure that there are some fans who would disagree of the outcome of the fight. So I would like to hear of what your personal thoughts of what the fight could have been, completely come a different take or a different outcome. So that's entirely, but I'm gonna let you decide how this could have go out like that. But in the meantime, just hit the like button if you guys did enjoy the episode, and also leave a comments down below, and I will catch y'all in the next video. So take care, guys, and there are more on the way, but until then, take care and peace.